My name is Emily Hayes. And at 32, I thought I'd finally carved out a life far from my father's long shadow. After years grinding away in finance down in San Francisco's tech scene, I'd just started my own boutique investment firm in Portland, Oregon, determined to build something that was all mine. No strings attached. The Pacific Northwest suited me. Rainy mornings.
Kräft koffie.
And that fresh evergreen air that cleared my head after too many late nights crunching numbers. But that crisp April morning, when my phone lit up with Dad's name, Robert Hayes, I should have known trouble was brewing. Emily.
Get to the office.
Family emergency. 1 hour. His voice boomed like it always had. The kind that brooked no arguments. Echoing from my childhood in Seattle, where he'd built his empire. Hayes Biotech loomed over the Seattle skyline like a steel and glass testament to Dad's relentless drive. I hadn't stepped foot there since Mom's funeral 8 years ago. The lobby still reeked of polished ambition, espresso from the in-house cafe mingling with a faint scent of lab chemicals wafting from the R&D floors. Security nodded me through, their eyes flicking with that mix of recognition and pity. Up on the executive level, the air hummed with tension. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I spotted Mount Rainier in the distance. But inside the conference room, it felt like a pressure cooker. A dozen suits, board members, lawyers, execs sat around a reclaimed wood table that screamed eco-friendly innovation. Dad's assistant, Karen, barely met my gaze as she waved me in. Emily. About time. Robert Hayes stood at the head, his salt and pepper hair slicked back, his flannel-lined blazer giving off that casual Pacific Northwest billionaire vibe. But his eyes? They held a glint of something desperate, hidden behind his trademark grin. Everyone. My daughter. The room sized me up like I was a stock about to plummet. I recognized a few faces from business journals, venture capitalists who'd poured millions into Dad's gene therapy startups. The vibe was off. Like I'd walked into a deposition where I was the unwitting witness. Dad. What's going on? I kept it cool, channeling my boardroom poise. No way was I showing cracks in front of these wolves.
Seat.
He pointed to the chair opposite him, a thick stack of papers waiting like an ambush. We've got a regulatory hiccup with the FDA. Legal says we need family unity to weather it, consolidated ownership for quick decisions. I stayed standing, arms crossed. And this involves me how? I haven't touched Hayes Biotech since Mom passed. Her shares are mine. But I'm hands off. Exactly. His jaw clenched just a hair. Those shares, your voting bloc, are key. We need a short-term power of attorney to streamline things during the audit. You'll keep ownership.
No sweat.
The lawyer next to him, a wiry guy with a Seattle Seahawks tie clip, nudged the doc my way. Standard limited POA. MS.
Hayes.
90 days max. For efficiency's sake.
He said.
Scanning the pages. Legal mumbo-jumbo. But my finance background screamed red flags. Buried clauses. Vague terms, it smelled fishy. This looks pretty broad for temporary. Time's tight, Dad said smoothly. FDA's on us like a hawk. Your mom would have wanted us solid. Mom, Sarah Hayes. She'd co-founded the company with her groundbreaking work on personalized medicine. Her death from a hiking accident in the Cascades had gutted me. Those shares were her last gift. Untouched by Dad's control-freak ways. I'll review it with my lawyer. No time. He leaned in, fingers tented. Deadlines tomorrow. Thousands of jobs at stake. Folks in Seattle, Portland, even our Boise lab. Families counting on us. Karen hovered with a fancy pen, and the room leaned in like a scripted play. Just sign.
Eminência.
Trust me. When have I steered you wrong? The question hit like a slap. Boarding schools in the East. Skipped soccer games. The way he'd ship me off after Mom's funeral like I was excess baggage. My hand hovered, but instinct kicked in. I flipped back, spotting a sneaky clause on asset reallocation. This lets you liquidate my shares if necessary. That's not admin, that's takeover. Boilerplate, the lawyer muttered. Boilerplate my ass. I stood. I'm out. But as I headed for the door, Dad's voice turned icy. Emily.
Seat.
This is family. In the hall, I dialed Jake Thompson, an old law school buddy now specializing in estates up in Tacoma. Jake. Emergency. Scanning this doc now, tell me what you see. While he loaded it, Karen shadowed me. Through the glass. Dad paced. Phone in hand. The board fidgeted like kids caught cheating.
Jacob was it back. In.
This ain't POA. It's a Trojan horse. Hidden rider transfers control permanently if compliance issues arise. No addendum attached? Bail now. Come to my office. Security loomed by the elevators, not blocking, but close. Karen smiled thinly. Your dad wants you back in? I re-entered, calm as a lake. Show me the addendum on page 11. The lawyer blanched. What addendum? 11.4c. Pre-existing obligations. Dad's mask slipped. Your mom made some bad calls before she died. Invested shares as collateral in a risky startup. Loans are due. Creditors could come for you. This POA shields you. It was a slick lie I saw his tell. The way he tugged his ear. Prove it with docs. Confidential. Then no deal. I pocketed my phone, recording discreetly. Jake'll follow up. You ungrateful, he stopped. Eyes on the board. Sarah want unity. Sarah taught me to read the fine print. I eyed the room.
Due diligence.
Right? The lawyer piped up. 24-hour windows for a federal filing. Miss it, and it goes criminal. Criminal. The word landed like a bomb. Dad's face drained, and I knew I'd hit pay dirt. I bolted, mind whirling. FDA probe. Criminal angles. By the time I hit Jake's office overlooking Puget Sound, pieces clicked. Hayes Biotech's deep, Jake said. Screens glowing. Their flagship cancer drug? Gencure? Whistleblowers say they fudged trial data, hid side effects like organ failure. My gut twisted. Dad wants my shares to control the narrative. If fraud sticks, major shareholders liable. With your POA. He shifts blame. Worse, he added, pulling filings. SEC sniffing too, insider trading. Medicare billing scams. Dates back years, before your mom's accident. The room spun. Mom's hiking mishap alone on a familiar trail.
No witnesses.
Dad handled everything.
Kept me away.
Get me all evidence, I said. And can we tweak this POA? Jake grinned. Sign on our terms? Risky, but genius. We burned midnight oil. Calling in Mia Lopez, a corporate fraud whiz from Bellevue. We mirrored the doc but flipped key clauses. If misconduct proven, I'd gain proxy over Dad's role. Buried deep. Their style. This could work, Mia said. They're desperate, might skim it. Timing was key. I dug an old email from a shareholder pushing for audit at tomorrow's meeting. Without my votes, Dad couldn't block it. We poisoned the well, I said, and leaked to media for backup.
Mia phoned Lena Ruiz,
a journalist covering West Coast pharma scandals. Hayes on my list, Lena said over coffee. Go on record? I can drop a bombshell. Timed release, I agreed. By dawn. Plan set. Texted Dad. I'll sign.
10 Uhr morgens.
Family only.
No sweets.
His reply, smart girl.
See you.
He had no clue the tables were turning. Back at Hayes Biotech that morning, the modified POA felt like a loaded gun in my bag. Jake's contact had matched paper, ink, even the subtle coffee stain on the original for authenticity. Unless Dad pored over every word, it'd pass. You seem rested, he noted in his corner office. Rainier framed behind him like a prop. Alone, as promised, but his eyes darted. Just needed clarity. I set my bag down. About Gen Cure, side effects buried?
Surprise flickered.
You've been sleuthing. Business is tough. Not every risk makes headlines. Who decides? Profits over people?
He sighed.
Gazing out. We employ 5,000 across the West Seattle coders. Oregon labs. Kelly sales. Families rely on us. Sometimes you bend rules to keep doors open. Bend or break. I pressed. Sign.
Eminência.
For the family. I pulled our version, scanning as if fresh.
Fine.
But explain the criminal bit. FDA overreach. Nothing sticks with Unity. I signed with a flourish. Heart pounding. He snatched it. Eyes skimming signature page only, hooked. Smart choice. He filed it digitally. CCING legal.
Now.
Board meeting. Actually, I interrupted. Per the POA, I want full access to Mon's old files. He waved it off. Later. Crisis first. But the seed was planted. I left. Texting Jake. Done. Monitor filings. By noon, I was at a nearby cafe. Laptop open. The shareholder meeting streamed virtually, Dad presiding. Confident. The audit motion arose. Votes tallied. Without my block. It passed narrowly. His face? Priceless fury. Jake called. POA filed. Our clauses active.
Dig now.
I remote accessed archives from Mom's era, Project Evergreen. Her passion for ethical gene therapies. Buried. Altered trial logs. Original data showed Gen Cure's risks. Faked versions hid them. Emails from Dad. Massage the numbers. Stock can't tank.
Deeper, médicaments reverbilling, millions siphonned.
And a draft from Mom to the FDA. Irregularities in trials. Must report. Dated days before her accident. Tears stung. Mom hadn't slipped on that trail. She'd been a threat. I forwarded to Jake and Mia. This is motive. Big time, Mia said. Linked to accident? Mechanics report shows brake wear. But shop was Dad's vendor. We built the case. Whistleblower docs. Financial trails. Even offshore accounts in Vancouver. BC, close enough for West Coast evasion. Lena joined. Story solid. Publish tomorrow. Hold for signal. That night, I confronted Dad at his Lake Washington mansion, the one Mom designed with floor-to-ceiling views of the Sound. He poured bourbon. Casual. Meeting went south. But we'll appeal. With what? Fraud. He froze. What are you implying? I read the POA, our version. Misconduct clause kicks in. His glass shattered. You tampered. You filed it.
Now.
Explain Mom's whistleblower draft. Delusional. She was stressed. Stressed enough for breaks to fail? He paled.
Accident.
Tragic. Or convenient. I played a recording, his old voicemail to a consultant. Handle the problem quietly. Borrowed from Mia's sources. But it hit. You bitch. He lunged. But I dodged. This company's mine. Not anymore.
I texted Lena. Go kropka.
By morning, her article exploded. Hayes biotech fraud exposed. Daughter uncovers CEO's cover-up. Possible link to founder's death. Stock dipped, but calls flooded employees, investors,
Feds.
FDA agents raided at dawn. I met them in the lobby, handing keys. Full access. Mom's files first. Agent Marco Diaz nodded. Your cooperation's noted. All hands in the atrium. We're cleaning house. GenCure recall starts today. Victim fund launches. Jobs safe for the innocent. Relief washed over faces, techies in hoodies. Scientists in lab coats. Dad stormed in with lawyers. This is my building. Not per POA, I said, showing clauses. Misconduct proven, control shifts. His attorney blustered, challengeable, but public now. Phones buzzed with alerts. Agent Diaz, Mr. Hayes. Questions downtown. Cuffed. He snarled. You're destroying us. Saving what Mom built. As they led him away, rain pattered on windows, a northwest cleanse. The fallout hit like a cascade avalanche. By afternoon, SEC froze Dad's assets, his Bainbridge Island yacht, the Aspen Ski Chalet, even the vintage Mustang collection. Board convened emergency, virtual, with me presiding from the conference room. Evidence is damning, I opened. Fraud. Billing scams. Trial tampering.
Perpoa.
Richard Klein, a longtime board vet from Portland, nodded. Vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Congrats.
Emily.
Stabilize us. First acts. Independent audit.
Whitstow hotline.
Ethics overhaul. I named it the Sarah Hayes Integrity Program, Mom's Legacy Reborn. Lena's follow-up dropped. Testimonies from ex-employees about Dad's pressure cooker culture. He buried bad data to chase IPO glory. Stock rebounded on reform news. Investors loved the fresh start narrative. Jake called, prosecutors building RICO case, fraud conspiracy. Your mom's files seal it. And the accident? Reopening. Witness from the trail shop says Dad paid for special service.
Gut punch.
But cathartic. That evening, at my Portland loft, rain drummed the roof. I sifted Mom's personal effects, shipped from storage. A journal, Robert's changing. Profits over patience. Must stop him. Tears flowed. She'd fought alone. Next day, back in Seattle. Employee town hall, overflowing. Questions? A young lab tech. Will we pivot to Mom's ethical projects?
Yes.
Affordable therapies first.
Cheers.
Dad's lawyer requested a meet, neutral ground, a Bellevue cafe. He sat defeated.
No bluster.
Emily.
Drop this.
Family. You mean cover-up? I didn't kill her. Voice cracked. But I pushed boundaries. The brakes? A warning gone wrong. Warning. She threatened divorce. Exposure. I hired a guy to scare her. Tamper lightly. But it failed catastrophically. Murder by proxy. Why? Empire.
Ego.
I loved her, but business blinded me.
Sobs.
First vulnerability I'd seen. Feds know. He nodded. Plea deal brewing, 20 years. Full confession. I paused. Revenge tempted. But Mom's journal echoed. Forgiveness heals the forgiver. Cooperate fully. Help victims. Maybe I'll testify for leniency. His eyes widened. Why? Not for you. Foreclosure. Left him broken. But seeds of redemption planted. Weeks blurred. Settlements with GenCure victims. Millions allocated. I testified before Congress on pharma ethics. West Coast style, practical, transparent. Board expanded, diverse voices, a Native American health advocate from Yakima, a Latina scientist from Fresno. One night,
Digging archive.
found mom's side project, gene therapy for rural diabetes, tailored for underserved Western communities. Revived it immediately. Launch and trials by fall.
DR. Elena Vargas.
Mom's old assistant. Rejoined. Sarah be proud. As CEO, I balanced. Cut exec perks.
Boosted employee wellness hiking stipends.
Mental health days. Northwest perks. Dad's trial loomed. He wrote, I'm sorry. For everything. I visited jail, sterile. Humbling. Prove it by helping rebuild. He agreed, consulting from behind bars on cleanup. Not full forgiveness, but humane steps. Months in, Hayes Biotech transformed. We partnered with tribal clinics in Arizona, testing mom's diabetes tech, free for low income. Headlines shifted, from scandal to savior. Hayes' redemption arc. Stock soared. Investors flocked to our purpose-driven model. Personal life? I dated casually, a hike with a software engineer from Tacoma. No rush, healing first. Dad's plea. Guilty to fraud. Manslaughter. Sentenced 15 years. With good behavior. In court, I spoke. He erred gravely, but shows remorse. Let rehabilitation guide. Judge noted it. Post-sentencing. He called. Thank you. I'll make amends. Start by writing victims. He did, hundreds of letters. A light lesson emerged. Power corrupts unchecked, but accountability redeems. One crisp fall day, I hiked mom's fatal trail, Olympic National Park. Ferns whispered. Eagles soared. At the overlook, I scattered wildflower seeds, her favorite. Miss you.
Mom.
But we're honoring you. Back at HQ. Breakthrough. Diabetes trial success.
FDA fast-tracked.
Launch event in Seattle. Rain-free miracle. Employees. Victims' families attended. Today, we dedicate the Sarah Hayes line. Affordable care for all. Applause thundered. After. A quiet moment with Dr. Vargas. Your mom's vision lives. Through it, I learned, revenge burns, but compassion rebuilds. Dad's first parole hearing in 5 years, he'd teach ethics classes inside. I plan to support. Family drama? Resolved humanely. As winter blanketed the Northwest, challenges persisted. A lawsuit from holdout shareholders claimed POA invalid. Jake crushed it in court, citing Dad's own filings. Media frenzy waned, but internal culture flourished. We hosted innovation jams, employee-led hackathons for ethical biotech ideas. One winner, AI for rural telemedicine, bridging Western divides. Personally, I volunteered at Seattle shelters, mom's passion for community health. Dad's letters arrived monthly, reflections on greed's toll. I built walls, you built bridges. Replied, learn from it. Spring brought FDA approval for Sarah line. Press conference, this isn't profit, it's purpose. Sales boomed ethically, subsidized for need. Lesson crystallized, true legacy is an empire, its impact. A year post-takeover. Hayes Biotech hit milestones, 0 fraud incidents. Employee satisfaction at 95%. Partnerships with UC Davis and UW for research. I keynote TEDx Portland. From betrayal to betterment, reforming pharma from within. Shared the light lesson. In family or business, unchecked ambition destroys. But owning mistakes opens redemption's door. Forgive where possible, heal always. Audience standing ovation. Dad transferred to minimum security, teaching inmates business ethics. His course, Power's pitfalls. Visited. Proud of you.
Eminência.
Mutual. If you stay the course. We talked, Mom, shared memories.
Noblam.
Not picture perfect, but human. Summer hike with team, celebrating trial successes. Atop Snoqualmie Pass. Views stretched to infinity. Reflected. That harmless paper? Catalyst for change. Empires saved. Family mended lightly. The end wasn't vengeance's blaze, but compassion's dawn. In Seattle's bustling streets, I walked free, legacy intact. Heart whole. 2 years on. Dad paroled early, community service at health clinics. He joined our advisory board.
Pro bono. Guiding ethics.
We co-authored a book, Fractured Families. Forged Futures, Proceeds to Victims. At book launch in Powell's, Portland. He hugged me. You taught me humanity. I smiled. Mom taught us both. Company thrived, expanded to Denver. Phoenix, Western hubs. Personal win. Engaged to that engineer, proposal on Mom's trail. Life's lesson, drama tests, but grace triumphs. From shocking signature to unexpected unity, our story closed humanely.